Corporation is proud to continue to invest in educational opportunities through our sponsorship of Academic Challenge. Nordson is a global leader in precision technology solutions with a long and proud history of giving back to the communities where we live and work. Each year, we donate 5% of our U.S. pre-tax profits to charitable endeavors, prioritizing programs that support STEM education, human welfare, and arts and culture. To date, Nordson and the Nordson Corporation Foundation have donated nearly $173 million to charities, awarded $7.5 million in scholarships, and our employees have logged more than 117,000 volunteer hours. Thank you for watching Academic Challenge. Best of luck to all the participants.
Teams from
Black River,
Pymatuning Valley,
Sandy Valley.
Meet this morning on the Nordson Academic Challenge. Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome. Come on in, let's have some fun. I'm Rob Powers. So glad you could be with us today. The challenge of the show is simple. For the next 30 minutes, our teams will be tested on their knowledge of subjects like math, science, history, a few others as well. One more time, let's hear it for today's teams. Black River, Pymatuning Valley, and Sandy Valley. Today's winner will be the team that with the highest point total at the end of our game. Here are the standings right now as of today. The season's 3 highest scoring teams will be back to play in our 56th championship game for the chance to win the top prize of $6,000 in grant money for their school, awarded by our friends from Nordson. We're going to get things started right now with the lightning round. Let's get it going. Here's how we play. All 3 teams compete in this round. I ask 10 questions that have a common theme. We award 20 points for a correct answer. We will take away 20 points for an incorrect or no answer. Let's start every team off with 100 points. Everybody ready? It's okay to wear your heart on your sleeve because these questions are all about hearts and persons and things associated with hearts. Got it? This medal is awarded U.S. soldiers wounded Black River.
Purple Heart.
That is correct. This character from The Wizard of Oz wanted a heart, Pymatuning Valley.
The Tin Man.
That is correct. Your heart has this many chambers. Black River.
3.
4. 4 is the answer. The words Heart of Dixie appear on the license plate of this Southern Yellowhammer. Black River.
Tennessee.
Alabama. Alabama's the answer. There are this number cards in the heart suit of a standard deck. Black River.
13.
13 is correct. This is the medical specialty specifically dealing with the heart. Black River.
Cardiology.
That is correct. This English king was nicknamed the Lion-Hearted. Black River.
Henry.
Richard I is the answer. This D. Brown title says, bury my heart at this place. Answer is Wounded Knee. She wrote, the heart is a lonely hunter. Answer is Carson McCullers. Joining us this morning for our final question this round is our own Power of 5 meteorologist, Trent McGill. Good morning, Trent.
Good morning, everyone. Here's your question. Cleveland saw 15 days of temperatures 90 degrees and above this past summer, so it's important to stay cool and hydrated. Now, studies have shown that heat waves can be a cause of the blockage of blood flow to the heart through what major blood vessel, such as the aorta?
Answer? Pymatuning Valley.
Ventricles.
The artery or arteries. That was the answer there, but that's the end of our round, and we're off and running. That's how we get things started. We'll be back for the second round of today's big game after a quick timeout. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. If you'd like more information about any of the schools that appear this season, you can scan the QR code you see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen with your cell phone. That code takes you to the news5cleveland.com Academic Challenge page. We have the links for all of this season's schools right there for you. Time for us now to play Hot Picks. One at a time, I ask each team 8 questions selected by the captain of another team. A correct answer here is worth 20 points. There's no penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 8 questions correctly will receive 25 bonus points. Before we get to the questions, let's meet our players. We start at Black River. Nick, you're the captain. Congratulations on that. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Nick. I'm the vice president of my school's NHS chapter, and I also get to be our student council treasurer, which I really enjoy doing.
Good for you. Welcome this morning. Hi, Josh.
Hello, glad to be here. Outside of Academic Challenge, I am Secretary of our National Honor Society and Vice President of the Junior class.
And we welcome you here this morning. Hi, Stryker.
Hi. I perform in all of our school bands, and I enjoy doing student council.
Good job. Cool stuff. Welcome, Black River. For your questions, we head to Pymatuning Valley's Captain Samantha. We've got an open board here, Samantha. Envelope 1, 2, 3, or 4?
1.
1, you got it. So keep in mind, Black River, these questions are all yours. All set? Here we go. Verdi's opera Aida was commissioned to celebrate the opening of what man-made Middle East waterway?
Suez Canal.
That is correct. A cow shot by mistake was the only casualty of the Aroostook War, a border dispute involving Canada and the region that is now what northernmost New England state?
Maine.
Maine is correct. 100,000 pigeons that carried messages helped ensure an Allied victory during what early 20th century war?
World War I.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. An acetylene torch uses which of these compounds?
Hydrocarbons.
That is correct. Farming is difficult in much of sub-Saharan Africa because the soil lacks nitrogen and what other element whose symbol is P? Answer?
Phosphorus.
That is correct. After his death, a half-read copy of Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov was found in the study of what other Russian author who wrote War and Peace?
Tolstoy.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. We ask you to solve for X. Answer?
6.
7. 7 is the answer. It's okay. We think of the Alamo as a defeat, but it was a great victory for the Mexicans who fought there under what general?
Santa Anna.
That is correct. Nice round, Black River. Good job. All righty. Today's second team comes to us from Pymatuning Valley. The captain is Samantha. Samantha, tell us about yourself.
Hello. I'm a senior at Pymatuning Valley, and I'm in swim and soccer.
Welcome this morning. Nice to see you. Hi, Claire.
Hi. My name's Claire. I'm the junior drum major, and I'm also the captain of our swim team.
Good for you. Welcome. Hi, Connor.
I am Connor. I am the alto section leader in our marching band, and I also am the lights guy for the theater department.
Busy, busy. We welcome all of you here today for your questions. We head to Lincoln, the Sandy Valley captain. Lincoln, envelope 2, 3, or 4?
We'll go with number 3.
You got it. All right, Pymatuning Valley, all you. All set? Here we go. According to one survey, the most common phobia is a fear of what type of arachnid that frightened Miss Muffet?
Spider.
Of course it is. Ancient Greeks believed that those who drank from the river Lethe would lose what mental capacity affected by amnesia?
Memories.
That is correct. The larvae of the Bombyx mori moth uses its salivary glands to spin the threads used to produce what fine, smooth fabric?
Silk.
That's right. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. In general, with every 10 degrees centigrade increase in temperature, the rate of a chemical reaction is expected to do which of these? Answer?
Double.
Double is correct. Today, he might just send a text, but according to the Iliad, what classical god of the forge used messengers made of gold to deliver his letters?
Hephaestus.
That is correct. The third book in the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer is what best-selling novel whose title suggests one celestial body obscuring another?
Eclipse.
That is correct. Let's go back to the monitor. Here's your math question. Evaluate this expression, giving your answer as an integer. Answer?
No answer.
Answer's 2 there, 2. Among Balboa's companions when he discovered the Pacific Ocean was what adventurer who later became the conquistador who conquered Peru? Answer?
Magellan.
Pizarro's the answer. Nice round, though. Good job. All righty. Our third team today comes to us from Sandy Valley. Lincoln, you're the captain. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Lincoln. I'm a senior and I'm committed to Bowling Green to take finance.
A future Falcon. There you go. Hi, Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a junior this year. I'm the vice president of the FFA, and I am the section leader of the low brass and band.
There you go. Welcome this morning. Hi, Jacob.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I am a senior, and I am an active member of theater, choir, and band.
Good for you, all 9 of you. You're doing great things. Thanks for being here this morning. For your question, Sandy Valley, we head to Nick from Black River. Nick, we're down to envelope 2 or 4?
Packet 4.
4? You got it. All righty. These are all for you. Here we are. Ernest Hemingway once jokingly claimed that Mount Kilimanjaro was the home of what mythical horse-like animal with one horn on its forehead?
Unicorn.
That's correct. Check out a map. You'll see that Egypt is bordered by 2 seas, the Mediterranean and what other sea whose waters were parted by Moses?
Red Sea.
That is correct. November 1733 saw more than 100 passengers set out from Great Britain to establish what southernmost of our 13 colonies?
Virginia.
Georgia is the answer. Sorry about that. We go to the monitor here. Here's your science question. The British thermal unit is a unit of which of these?
Energy.
That is correct. The North American river that produces the most hydroelectric power is what river that forms most of the Oregon-Washington border? Answer?
No answer.
The Columbia River. Quite appropriately, it was poet Robert Frost who wrote a poem titled Fire and what frozen substance?
Ice.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. Evaluate this expression for x. If x equals 5, give your answer as an integer.
8.
8 is correct. After visiting the United States, what 19th century Frenchman summed up his experience in a study titled Democracy in America? Answer?
No answer.
Tocqueville is the answer. Hey, everybody, great round. Good job. We're moving on. We're back with more academic excitement right after this. Welcome back to the big show, and we welcome back our judge from Cuyahoga Community College. It's Michael Lancer. Michael's been here in previous seasons. We're excited he could join us again this morning. Great to see you, man. All righty. Before we continue with our next round, we're going to take a quick look at the scores so far. In third place, 200 points, Sandy Valley. Second place, 220 points, Pymatuning Valley. First place, 240 points, Black River. It's really tight. It's really tight. Now we move on. It's time for our picture perfect round. All 3 teams compete in this round. I'll ask 8 questions, all of which have some kind of visual element. For every correct answer, we award 20 points. For a wrong answer or no answer, we take away 20 points. Hands on your buzzers. Eyes on the big monitor down front. Ready to roll? Get your glasses on. Here we go. It takes 90 minutes to hard boil an egg like this. Of what kind of largest bird? Black River.
Ostrich.
That is correct. This is John Montague, the Earl of what place, whose name was originally given to the Hawaiian Islands and still identifies a popular lunch item. Black River.
Sandwich.
That is correct. This is the New Horizons space probe, which confirmed the existence of a wall at the edge of the solar system made of what gas with atomic number 1? Black River.
Hydrogen.
That is correct. What is the average of these 3 numbers? Answer? Sandy Valley.
-7.
-7 is correct. This Japanese print from the early 19th century depicts what flower, whose name suggests a part of the eye? Sandy Valley.
Iris.
That is correct. This comment comes from what man who wrote Profiles in Courage before becoming our 35th president? Pymatuning Valley.
Theodore Roosevelt.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy is the answer there. This is England's Lord Amherst, who, in the French and Indian War, captured what T-initialed fort in upstate New York? Black River.
Ticonderoga.
That is correct. The cover photo in this issue of Cleveland Magazine features downtown Munson's local popcorn shop. But were you aware that popcorn fossils over 6,700 years old were discovered in which mountainous country once home to the Incas? Black River.
Peru.
Peru is correct. That's the end of that round. Way to go, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for today's round. We're going to mix it up right after this.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. Time to meet our school advisors from Black River. It's Clayton Van Doren. Joining us from Pymatuning Valley, Cody Hunt. From Sandy Valley, we say hello to Brian Shaw. I'm sorry, that's Amy Moyer. What am I doing? What am I saying? Amy Moyer, thank you so much for being here. All righty, time for us to mix it up. One at a time, I ask each team 6 questions. A correct response here worth 20 points. No penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 6 questions correctly will receive 25 bonus points. First up is Black River. You all ready? These are all for you. Choose one word from each column here, and you can get what 18th century device developed by James Watt?
Steam engine.
That is correct. Which of these 3 adjectives is the best synonym for the word agile?
Nimble.
That is correct. Forget political fish. Rearrange the letters to name what 19th century Russian chemist who devised the periodic table of elements?
Mendeleev.
That is correct. Combine the chemical symbols for these elements to name what wild North American canine?
Coyote.
That is correct. You could dive down for over a mile and still not reach the bottom of which of these lakes located in Russia?
Baikal.
That is correct, and that was big. This is for the bonus points. This statement by Gerald Ford, made before he became president, can be completed by adding the name of what bird that indicates the highest rank in scouting?
Eagle Scout.
Eagle is correct for the bonus points. There you go. All righty. Pymatuning Valley, it's that easy. Ready? Yep. Here we go. Take one word from each column here. You will get the name of what South Pacific island, the world's 2nd largest?
New Guinea.
That is correct. Someone who is very persistent can best be described by which of these adjectives?
Boisterous.
Tenacious. Tenacious is the answer there. Sorry. Instead of gasping, rearrange the letters to name the tube that extends from your pharynx to your stomach.
Esophagus.
That is correct. Combine the chemical symbols for these elements to name what large wild animal that is dangerous to approach?
Bear.
Bear is correct. Which of these countries shares a land border with Ethiopia? Answer?
Saudi Arabia.
Djibouti is the answer there. To complete this quote, place in the space what geometric term for a 2-line figure that can be acute, obtuse, or right?
Angle.
Angle is correct. Nice round. Pymatuning Valley. And that takes us to Sandy Valley. You are up. All set?
All set.
Here we go. Choose one word from each column here. You will name what 1853 deal that enabled the U.S. to acquire land from Mexico.
Livingston Purchase.
The Gadsden Purchase. Gadsden Purchase. A person who is very generous and forgiving can best be described by which of these words?
Magnanimous.
That is correct. To prove you're not napping, rearrange the letters in this phrase to name what gland that includes the islets of Langerhans where insulin is created.
Pancreas.
That is correct. Combine the symbols for these elements to name a stinging insect.
Wasp.
That is correct. Which of these 3 lakes is the source of the Mississippi River? Answer?
Champlain.
Itasca. Itasca. To complete this metaphor by a Lebanese poet, add what word that identifies an explosive mountain like Mount Vesuvius?
Volcano.
That is correct. That's the end of that round. Good job, everybody. All right, we'll be back with our final and deciding grab bag round. It's all coming up after this.
6:30.
Okay, here we go. Time now for the grab bag round. All 3 teams compete in this round. I ask as many questions as time allows. For each correct answer, we award 30 points, but a team will lose 30 points for a wrong or no answer. Again, this is for all 3 teams. So hands on your buzzers, eyes on the monitor when we need it. All set, deep breath. Here we go. At the 1924 Olympic Games, Harold Osborne became the first American to win what grueling contest with 10 separate events? Pymatuning Valley.
Decathlon.
That is correct. Visitors to London can see performances at what reconstructed theater? Black River.
Globe Theater.
That is correct. A fantastic 100-foot-high waterfall was discovered several years ago in what mountainous Asian land where the Dalai Lama is revered? Black River.
Tibet.
That is correct. Possibly the only birds which fly with synchronized wing beats. This is a variety of what bird that nicknames the state of Louisiana? Black River.
Pelican.
That is correct. What is the length of the diagonal of a square whose area is 50? Answer is 10. Research on chimpanzees by Jane Goodall is being preserved at what North Carolina University, home of the Blue Devils?
Duke.
Sandy Valley.
Duke.
That is correct. You have to be in good shape if you want to climb El Capitan in what California National Park? Answer is Yosemite. You won't have any problems if you can identify what man who said this, a computer specialist who, with Larry Page, founded Google. Answer is Sergey Brin. Pittsburgh lost to the Boston Red Sox in the first modern World Series in what same year in which the Wright brothers scored a hit with the first flight? Answer is 1903. And that's our final buzzer. We go right to the scores from that point. In third place this morning with 310 points, it's Pymatuning Valley. In second place with 350 points, Sandy Valley. The winner of today's academic challenge with a robust 575 points, it's the team from Black River. And they're taking this little thing home. Be sure to join us next time. We feature teams from Elyria, Lake, and Rootstown. Thanks for watching this one. I am Rob Powers. Study hard. We'll see you back here next week.